The rain had a rhythm. Not thunder or downpour, just a constant, steady tap that made everything hum the same note. After a while, you stop hearing it. It becomes the background noise of your thoughts. That's what life on Ashfall Street was like. Predictable. Damp. And for a man like me, that wasn't always a bad thing. I've been the superintendent here for 15 years. I fix what's broken, sweep what's left, and make sure the heat stays on just long enough for people to keep paying rent. I know this building better than anyone. I know every creak, every water stain, every bulb that burns out every other week. At least, I thought I did. It started 2 nights before Halloween. The storm hadn't let up for days, and the halls smelled like mildew and cheap candles from the tenants downstairs. I was in the lobby when a delivery guy came in, young kid, hood up, dripping wet. He looked lost. "Package for 3F, he said, holding up a damp box. I blinked. 3F. He nodded, impatient. Yeah, 3F. I dropped one off there yesterday too. There's no 3F, I told him. This building ends at E. He gave me a look, half confused, half annoyed, and pointed up the stairwell. It's there, man. 3rd floor, end of the hall. Big grey door. Says 3F right on it. I wanted to argue, but something in his face made me stop. He looked sure. Too sure. I followed him halfway up before he left. He didn't even wait for me to check, just muttered something about being behind schedule and disappeared into the rain. The hall was dim, the lights flickering in rhythm with the hum of the generator. The same hallway I'd walked 1,000 times. But at the end, past 3E, there was something new. A door. Fresh paint. Brass numbers shining like they'd been polished this morning. 3F. It looked out of place. Not just new, wrong. Too clean for a building that never was. I reached out and touched the doorknob. Cold. So cold it burned my fingers. I spent the rest of the night in my office going through the records. No 3F. No new construction permits, no tenants, no keys logged. I told myself it was some mistake, maybe an old storage room someone converted. But even that didn't sit right. I'd worked on this floor. There was no extra space. When I went home, I tried to ignore the sound. Footsteps. From above. Slow, pacing footsteps. Right above my bedroom ceiling. The funny thing is, my apartment is directly below 3E. There's no room above me. By morning, I convinced myself I imagined it. Sleep deprivation, stress, whatever. But when I stepped into the hall, I noticed the faint smell of paint and something else. Like old flowers left too long in water. I climbed up again, flashlight in hand. The light buzzed weakly, flickering across cracked wallpaper and water stains. And then, at the end of the corridor, the door. Still there. Still clean. And the brass number, 3F, gleamed as if it was waiting for me. I knocked once. No answer. Twice. Still nothing. On the third knock, something knocked back. I froze. It wasn't an echo, I felt it. Like someone was standing on the other side, timing me. I stepped closer, listening. The rain outside seemed to hush, like the world wanted to hear too. And then, a voice. Muffled, close. A woman's voice. Don't open it. My breath caught in my throat. Who's in there? I called out. No reply. Only silence. And then, something brushed against the inside of the door. Like fingers. I backed away slowly, my heart pounding, and left. I didn't check the rest of the hall. I didn't look back. But when I reached the stairs, I swear I heard it. The faint sound of a latch clicking open behind me. That night, I dreamed of water. It seeped through walls, under doors, down hallways. And somewhere, through the dripping, someone whispered, "You shouldn't have come back." I woke up gasping, my chest tight, the ceiling above me creaking like footsteps again. Except this time, they didn't stop. I went up again at dawn. Couldn't help it. Something in me needed to see it, to prove it was real. The hallway light was dead now. The floor was slick, glistening under my flashlight beam. When I reached the end, the door was open. The air was colder. Wet. Like stepping into a room that hadn't breathed in years. I leaned in, calling out softly, "Maintenance, you're not supposed to." And then I saw her. A woman, sitting in the corner. Long hair, soaked through. Head tilted slightly down, hands folded neatly on her lap. Still as glass. I said. No movement. Just the drip of water from her hair onto the floor. Something about her face, it looked blurred. like a reflection seen through running water. Then she spoke. Barely above a whisper. You shouldn't be here. Her lips barely moved, but her eyes, they flicked open, grey and hollow. I'm the super, I said, voice shaking. This room's not, it's not supposed to exist. She smiled. A thin, broken smile. That's what they all say. The light above us flickered. For a second, I thought I saw others behind her. Shapes. Standing in the corners, faces turned away. I stepped back toward the hall, but the doorway was gone. Nothing but cracked wallpaper and peeling paint. I turned around. She was standing right in front of me. Her skin was pale, wet. Water ran down her cheeks like tears. You heard us, she said. Her voice sounded like rain against the glass. That's how it starts. I don't understand, I whispered. She tilted her head. Her smile widened. You will. The walls began to pulse. Slowly. Like the building itself was breathing. I stumbled back, hitting something cold, a mirror. My reflection stared back at me, flickering, distorted. Then, the reflection smiled. Before I did. I don't remember leaving the room. 1 second I was inside, the next, I was in the hallway, soaked to the bone. The door stood closed behind me, its brass numbers gleaming through the dim. I ran downstairs, lungs burning. I didn't stop until I reached my apartment. I locked the door. I sat on the floor for hours, listening. The next night, the noise started again. Footsteps. Water dripping through the ceiling. And the whisper. Soft, patient. You came back. When I looked up, there was a dark stain spreading across my ceiling. In the shape of a door. I tried leaving the building. Really, I did. But every time I reached the lobby, the rain outside turned heavier, pounding, deafening. And then I'd blink. And I'd be back on the 3rd floor. Standing before 3F. Tonight, I stopped fighting it. It's Halloween. The night everyone wears masks. So maybe I can hide among them. I'm standing outside the door again now. The knob feels warm this time. Like it's expecting me. I can hear them inside. Dozens of voices, whispering in the dark. They sound like water moving through pipes. They sound like my name. I open the door. The room glows amber. And she's there, the woman, waiting. Her eyes no longer grey, they're mine. I try to scream, but the sound doesn't come out. The air is thick, heavy. The walls are breathing again. She steps forward, holding something in her hand, the lantern. The flame flickers, reflecting in her eyes. And when she speaks, her voice sounds just like mine. Welcome home, Marvin. Now it's quiet. No rain. No footsteps. Just the hum of the building. The steady drip of water through pipes. I hear people sometimes, the tenants. They whisper about the old super who vanished. They say his office light still comes on at night. That if you listen closely, you can hear him walking the halls. Maybe they're right. Maybe that's me. I keep the lights on. I make sure the heat works. And when someone knocks on 3F, I make sure to answer. Because every story has a heartbeat. And this one still echoes through the walls. You're listening to Bloody Chapter. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories that haunt the mind. Long after the sound fades.